The man stood in front of a group of high-ranking officials casually handling a sniper rifle. But when he pulled the trigger, nothing happened. The bullet never fired. He wasn't trying to be reckless. He was proving he'd been framed. As a trained Special Forces sniper, he had a habit. After cleaning his rifle, he would always replace the firing pin with a slightly shorter one. Unless you measured it with a micrometer, you'd never notice the difference. But that one tiny detail was enough to prove he hadn't pulled the trigger that killed the president. Then he turned to the brass and laid it out. After weeks of digging, all the evidence pointed to one man, General Black. But General Black didn't even blink. He knew there was no trail, nothing that could stick, until Officer Nick stepped forward, holding a stack of photographs. In those photos, undeniable proof of General Black's war crimes in Africa, massacres, slaughtered civilians. It was all there, but even with the evidence in plain sight, Black stayed calm, unshaken. The chief prosecutor sat stunned, disturbed by the man's twisted sense of morality. But this wasn't The Hague. This wasn't international court. They couldn't touch him. So General Black smirked, shoved open the door, and walked out like a king, as the room burned with silent fury. But then, the chief prosecutor stood up, walked slowly across the room, and sat down next to Bob.
For the record, I don't like the way this turned out any more than you do. But this is the world we live in, and justice does not always prevail. It's not the Wild West where you can clean up the streets with a gun, even though sometimes that's exactly what's needed. Bob Lee Swagger, you're free to go.